If David Miscavige is really a Christmas elf, then who's Santa? Hello, yes, it's me, Apostate Alex here. I have been off of YouTube for a week and now I'm back and it's Christmas. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I wanted to say a quick hello to some of you in the chat. PTS for life. Jeff is here. How you doing, buddy? We got you, Beak, good friend of ours on the channel here. Nancy, hello, Merry Christmas. Data Law, hello everybody. Season's greetings to one and all. And of course, we have Theta Novis. How are you doing? Great interview on Jeff's channel, PTS for Life. If you guys haven't checked it out already, go and do that. Merry Christmas, everybody. Mrs. J is here, keeping the chat in check. Pip, pip, cheerio. Or should we say, cheery ho, ho, ho. I'm going to be full of these Christmas crackers today. I'm going to be honest. You know, we've got to say ho, 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 T. Get it? OT. Of course, there's Rudolph, the red-nosed SP. You know, there's more, but I'll hold back for now. Guys, I've been away for a week. I needed to take a little bit of break, a little bit of time off, needed to take a break. After hearing the very sad news about Doug, somebody who I was very close to for a period of time. We did have our differences and we last spoke maybe only a month ago, and we had agreed to get together and talk about what we had a disagreement over, and he was looking forward to trying to see if we can rebuild the bridge and repair that relationship. And it was very sad to hear that we lost him. So I took a couple of days off. In fact, it ended up being a week, to just keep myself in check and, process the information and not get too wrapped up in the channel consuming my life. So took some time off, which I'm glad I did, and now I'm back. I will be back more regularly now. Yes, it is the Christmas season, but I do love doing this, and there is a whole load of stuff happening that I need to update you on and share with you, and I cannot wait. So, guys, this is a live stream. It is a Q&A. Please get your questions in the chat, and we will go through them. I have a number of things to share with you, so let's just crack on. Number one, Scientology are very desperate. I mean, we've known they've been desperate for a while, but this is kind of new level desperation. I was alerted to a Reddit post in the Scientology feed by a user called Heart6Gram, I believe is how you pronounce that. HE6RT6GR6M is the username, and this person posted on the Scientology Reddit feed, and it is related to the UK. The post is called "Time Must Be Hard," and it is a picture of an envelope from the Church of Scientology Manchester, and it reads, "Received this letter for our house's now deceased former owner. He bought Dianetics back in 1984, and they are sure his life is not as it was back then. They're not wrong. Incredible that they thought to chase it up nearly 40 years later. Wonder if he had a direct debit and his death ceased them, so they thought to check in." Now, if you click the next button, you will see the post itself is a picture of a letter received 27th of November 2023. Dear Mr. Blank, hello, how are you? I'm writing to you as one of our book buyers. You bought Dianetics back in 1984. Obviously, a lot of water has gone under the bridge since then, and I'm sure your life is not the same as it was back in 1984. Is there any way that you are interested in handling is there anything that you are interested in handling in your life at the moment? Best wishes, Sharon Hughes. Guys, letter writing, this is from the Church of Scientology Manchester. Letter writing is hugely important in Scientology. I remember writing lots of letters. There's a policy that says letters out is a good promotion tool. There's a statistic, and you've got to write as many letters as possible, whether that's handwritten or emails. And once you buy a book from Scientology or do any service, they have your information, and they will keep writing to you until you buy something. And then when you buy something, they'll stop for a little bit, and then they'll write to you again to buy something else. You are always on their mailing list. They never remove you. It's against policy to delete or remove files. The whole thing, the concept is that if you write a load of letters out, someone eventually will buy something. But the fact that they are writing to someone who bought a book in 1984, yes, that's almost exactly 40 years ago, shows they must be a little bit desperate. Because when I was on staff at the Church of Scientology in London, we were writing letters. We were writing letters to people who bought books maybe a month ago or 2 months ago, occasionally 6 months ago. But we wouldn't really be bothered in writing letters to people who hadn't been in contact for 40 years, because it's highly unlikely that they're going to get back in contact and buy a book, especially with people like this who happened to be dead. I thought that was interesting. It's from Manchester. It's UK related. They're desperate, and the desperation reeks from everything that they've been doing recently. Big news on Scientology business front. For those of you who don't know, I have a website. It's called scientologybusiness.com, where I report on Scientology's UK and European activities. You can go to scientologybusiness.com and you can see it here. You can sign up for email notifications if you like. I have been posting articles regularly on this website about a number of subjects. And the first one I want to talk about is this Hungary situation. So in Hungary, a European country, there was a huge scandal involving fraud. Essentially, a bunch of Scientology executives were charged last week with fraud for $1.7 million. It is going to be the start of a very long process involving really high up senior government officials. And it's actually the culmination of a very long process and investigation into Scientology that started back in 2016. In 2017, the Hungarian government raided, I believe it was 30 or so properties that were owned or belonged to Scientology or Scientologists. In the whole country, they raided a bunch of them, grabbed a load of files, like 2,000 files, and looked through them all. It resulted in a huge fine for data protection violations back in 2017. And since then, the investigation has continued, and using those same files that were gathered in that 2017 raid, they followed up, looked into the accounts, and it looks like Scientology were not declaring and paying the tax on the sales of books and courses that they were making. Instead, they were claiming it was a donation rather than a sale, and that means they didn't have to declare and pay tax on it. But the Hungarian government sees the sales of books and courses as a commercial transaction and not as something you can donate for. And so top executives were indicted the other day for fraud, and we shall see what happens. But it totals $1.7 million. It's huge. It's European. So keep your eyes on Scientology Business for updates on that. But this is the start of a very long process of lawsuits, investigations, and things that are going on here in Europe into Scientology. And it's a great step forward in that direction. Something also that was in the news recently is the Church of Scientology in France. So I, again, am going to bring this up here. Another article, Scientology in France, Fraud, Death and Fury. Stephanie Hutchison, who owns or runs the blog AZH Lins, which is a great blog about Scientology. I will put the link in the description after this live stream. She has been writing a couple of articles for me for Scientology Business, which reminds me, if you guys want to write stuff, if you want to submit stories to Scientology Business, I'm very keen to make it a media platform rather than just a personal blog. So if you're a writer, if you're interested in writing stuff, get in touch, please, and feel free to say, hey, I want to write stuff, and we can get you some articles published on Scientology Business so that we've got a little group of contributors rather than it just being all me. But anyway, Stephanie wrote this fantastic article on Scientology in France. Now, it was announced at the IS event recently by Dave Miscavige that Scientology's new Celebrity Center and Ideal Org building will be opening in January. There are some pictures that have emerged from the Scientology main website, which I've included here. And it's a bit controversial because it is located just around the corner from the Stade de France, which is where one of the Olympic locations. France, Paris is hosting the Olympics next year. So it is very controversial. And the locals weren't happy about it. So Stephanie did a little article. This is a picture of inside the new building about the opening that is expected in January, but also looking at the history of Scientology in France. Now, a lot of people may have forgotten or don't realize that back in the 70s, L. Ron Hubbard himself was convicted, literally convicted, found guilty and convicted of fraud in France, and was sentenced to jail time, to serve jail time, and fined 35,000 francs. Now, he didn't show up to the trial, so he was convicted in absentia, and he never returned to Europe after that because he was terrified he was going to be extradited to France to serve prison time. That's one of the reasons he fled to the high seas with the founding of the Sea Organization and fled back to his home country of the United States and hid out there for a while and never returned to Europe. That happened in 1970s. Scientology on the radar of the French authorities as a not great organization, convicted of fraud. Other executives were also convicted of fraud, and some of them did serve jail time and did pay their fines. Scientology was again convicted of fraud in, I believe it was 2009, thereabouts. Read the article. I'm not 100% on the dates without having it right in front of me to refer to, but it was convicted again of fraud. There was a huge investigation. A bunch of people were sentenced to serve jail time. Scientology is not protected as a religion in France. It is considered a sect. In fact, the government listed Scientology as a dangerous cult, as a sect, in its government reports and list of sects. So it is not looked favorably in France. And when they announced that they are opening this new building, they did it kind of in a sly way, like they have done previously, like how they took over Clearwater. They used a foreign unassociated company, this time called Buildings Investment Groups Limited, or LLC, which was an American-based firm that was created for the sole purpose of buying this building. This building cost 33 million euros. That's a lot of money in British pounds. That is 28.5 million pounds and 36 million US dollars. This company bought this building. It used to be the headquarters of Samsung Electronics. Huge building. I believe it was 78,500 square feet. Then the local authorities and residents found out that it was, in fact, Scientology purchasing the building and tried to stop it. There was a whole lengthy process where the local government and residents complained, and they tried to shut it down and stop the building being purchased and used for Scientology purposes. But ultimately, they failed. It was all reported in the press. Building Investment Group was called out and is now very clearly linked to Scientology. And they put the signs up, and they apparently will be opening in January. Now, the staff members are currently at St. Hill here in the UK training on a special training program, and there's a big recruitment drive to send people over to Paris to help get this org opened. So we'll see. There's more stuff to come on that I will share with you in due course. But Stephanie did this fantastic article looking at the past relationship France has had with residents, its population, and the local authorities. So go and check that out. Again, Scientologybusiness.com is where you want to go for that one. Let's have a little look at some of these comments. Emma Robson, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. That's very kind of you. For those of you who don't know, I do have channel memberships. I don't like the idea of doing content that is exclusive to members, because I like the idea of my content being available for all for free. However, I do want to say thank you to those of you who support the channel financially. So if you do have a membership and I have a video that's edited and uploaded rather than being a live stream like this, I will make it available to the officially PTS level tier members before it goes live to the public, generally a day or so ahead of time. So if you're a member, you get to see that, and then it goes live to everybody else who's not a member. So that's just a little thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you, Emma, for sharing some memberships. If you want to support the channel financially, the best way of doing that is buymeacoffee.com. There's a link in the description. You can also PayPal and super chat and all that sort of stuff as well. But before we move on, please press that like button and don't forget to leave a comment afterwards. After the video is finished, because that helps push the video out to more people. Mark, the Dorset SP, thank you for your super chat. Yep, they have sent a letter to us asking to do the purification rundown. Last contact with Paul Org was 30 years ago. That's huge. It definitely sounds like there is some project scraping the barrel situation going on here in Scientology. I have started receiving emails myself, having not received anything like that from Scientology in a good couple of years. And I'm surprised that I haven't been taken off the list yet. And they've definitely upped the ante in terms of marketing. So, you know, interesting to hear what is going on. Let me know in the chat if you guys have heard from Scientology. If you're a former Scientologist and you suddenly started hearing from them again, let me know. I'd be interested to know what you guys have been experiencing around the world. Awesome. Emma Robson, welcome to membership. Those in the group. If Alex gets another 1,000 members for the new year, I'll pay for another 100. Wow, what a nice thing to say. That's huge. Thank you so much. That would be cool. Although highly unlikely that I'll get 1,000 members, but you know, worth trying. And thank you, Emma. That's kind of you. Okay. Moving swiftly on my list of things to talk about. As some of you may be aware, last month I organized a protest. The IES event happened, International Association of Scientologists. It is the largest, biggest fundraising event in the Scientology calendar every year. It was marketed to Scientologists as the greatest gathering of Scientologists. So there was a lot riding on this event, and we gathered outside the gates of St. Hill, their UK headquarters, and protested with a simple message: the abuse has to stop, and if you want to leave, we are here to help. There's a community of people here to support you if you choose to leave Scientology. It made history. It was the largest protest against Scientology in the UK for about 15 years. And we will be back next year. There's more information coming on that soon. But regardless, this started a huge process for me into looking at the relationship between the Church of Scientology and East Grinstead Town Council. East Grinstead is the local town where St. Hill is located. And it turns out the mayor and a bunch of the councillors are very, very closely linked to the Church of Scientology. They have a policy of safe pointing, which is basically Scientology's attempt to infiltrate and gain control over local opinion leaders and politicians and things like that. Thought leadership. That's leaders in the field and thought and that sort of thing. So that's been going on since Scientology set up in East Grinstead in 1959. It's been going on a long time, and it has been working. And I have been working to expose this. And there's more information coming out in Scientology business. There's a few videos and articles planned, but I want to give you a little taste of what's to come because I have a bunch of Freedom of Information Act requests that have just come back literally today on the matter, which includes a bunch of emails, internal communications that have happened over the last few months between the council and Scientology, and it's very revealing. But in the meantime, I want to show this to you. After the IES event, wow, Emma, thank you. £50 for the ongoing fight. That is really, really kind of you. Thank you so much for the support. That's really nice of you. And what a lovely Christmas present. Thank you so much, Emma. Emma, send me an email. hello@apostatealex.com is the way to reach me. I want to say a personal thank you because that's very kind of you. Danielle also. Hi, Danielle. How are you doing? Your beard is growing. Yes, my beard is growing. I'm compensating for losing the hair on my top of my head. So after the IS event, which is November, shortly after, they had a big event at St. Hill, which was the official switching on of their Christmas lights. Every year they put lights up and they have a big ceremony. And historically, the mayor has gone to be the person to switch the lights on. And it's a big community event. It's not just for Scientologists, it's for local people. It's a PR event. Scientology want to impress the local community and say, hey, look at us. We're great. We're cool. You know, we're nice and we do things and community events and things for the kids. So that's the purpose behind the Christmas light switch on. And I found out yesterday that the video of this year's event has gone live on one of the many Scientology websites, and I'm going to share it with you here. In order to claim this as fair use, I'm going to provide commentary. I'm going to comment on what we're seeing in the video. If you want to watch the whole thing uninterrupted, again, I'll put a link in the description afterwards. But this is the St. Hill Christmas light switch on video from Scientology. Please tell me if you can't hear it for whatever reason, and I will go back and try and figure out the sound. Please tell me in the comments, can you hear the strings, that like musical nonsense that's going on in the background in the video? If you can hear it, just put a thumbs up or a yes in the live chat. Hans Christian Schultz, sound good. Okay, let's carry on. So that's St. Hill, that's the castle, and that's the gathering of people there to watch the Christmas light switch on. Also, I have to note, this is a very, very boring video. Literally nothing happens in it, but I wanted to share it with you anyway. This is a very creepy elf on the shelf looking thing happening. It looks strangely like Mr. Mickey Witz himself, Captain Davy Troll in the Hole, whatever you want to call him. I think it's quite funny that they've chosen that particular person mascot to have at St. Hill and to use in this video. Of all the Christmas characters you could choose, you really choose the elf on the shelf guy. Really smart, but funny. That is, of course, Mickey and Minnie Mouse.
I think that the light switch on was really great.
That right there was Fraser Visser. There he is. He is the current mayor of East Grinstead Town. That's him in a very flamboyant Christmas themed suit, standing on the stage with Liz Osterman, who is the public relations official at St. Hill, turning on the Christmas lights. Now, before Fraser showed up to this, I actually posed a question to him and called him out on social media because I found out that Fraser had been to a number of Scientology events this year, supporting Scientology, going to the Mission Impossible film premiere, meeting Tom Cruise, and going to the IES event. And I called him out and I said, why are you going to the Christmas light switch on at Scientology's premises when you're not a Scientologist? And there are many other much larger groups that contribute more to society and aren't under fire for allegations of abuse, harassment, child labor, punishments, all these sorts of things that Scientology is currently under fire for. And he basically came back and defended his association with the church and said that Scientology does a lot for the community. It's a valued and large part of the community. Anyway, that fight is ongoing. But this is video evidence that Fraser Visser, the mayor, despite being called out on social media, went to the Christmas light switch on anyway, dressed up for the occasion, and stood on stage to turn on the lights at St. Hill.
The light switch on was really great. I loved the fireworks and everything. I just thought it was quite amazing, and I just loved being here today.
Yeah, I think it was a real spectacle. It really did give off the Christmas cheer, and everyone seemed to be having fun, so really enjoyed it.
I thought it
If you watching this know any of these people, by the way, please do put it in the chat or email me. Most of these people are just locals. I believe they're trying to do this rather than use Scientologists, just in case anyone, leaves and becomes a suppressive person. They have to go back and edit the video. But if you recognize any of these people, please email me. Let me know who they are, because I'd be interested to know.
really well done. The lights come on. It made everything look a lot bigger. Colours were really good as well. My boys loved it, so that's what it's all about, isn't it?
It's a really good atmosphere, really good vibe with everyone. Gets you in the spirit, and the fireworks at the end was great.
Everyone's singing along to the music. Was
Everyone's
good.
cheerful,
Yeah.
joyful, gets you in the spirit.
The mayor wearing his
There he is again, the mayor. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of speechless at this point. Look, he's giving a speech. He's not just trotting up on stage and turning the lights on. He's actually giving a speech. He's enjoying it. He's wearing a stupid suit that doesn't look very official and, smart and all of this. He's obviously got a sense of humor about him. Great. But I don't understand how he can be standing there on stage with such a jovial attitude and making light of the whole Christmas cheer thing with that suit on, when there are victims of human trafficking and child trafficking and hard manual labor and intimidation and coercive control, literally there at the same property at the same time, likely standing behind or with him on stage, right? Liz Osterman, who is this lady here on the left, standing right behind him, and who is the main point of contact for the mayor and the council to decide between them and Scientology. She cannot leave St. Hill if she wanted to. If she wanted to leave Scientology, she would not be allowed to do that. She is not free to choose her own schedule, do her own things. She probably has a lot of luxuries because she is a senior executive, but she's a Sea Org member. She will be working for Scientology until she's dead. If she is old and disabled and has some sort of illness when she's 80 years old, and most people would be retired, she will be stuffing letters and writing letters for the Church of Scientology, because she has committed her life to working for the church 7 days a week with no time off. Fraser Visser knows this, and Fraser Visser decides he doesn't care, and it would be appropriate for him to stand on stage and turn the Christmas lights on wearing a silly Christmas suit. And this is why I have a problem with it.
Christmas pajamas was quite good as well, wasn't it?
My favourite part was being invited on the stage in the magic show, and I got this bracelet thingy. It was funny, yeah. He was crazy. He was meant to be an elf, and he was very crazy. I think all of it was spectacular. I also enjoyed going to see Santa. That was a blast, and I just loved everything. We saw Santa. We saw Santa a minute ago. It was fun, yeah.
We've been coming this is our third year coming now. It's such a good community event, gets everyone involved.
This event definitely puts us all into the Christmas spirit. It's been lovely to come, hear the Christmas music, see all the lights, see the magic show with the elves. The kids have loved it, and so have we.
And I think it's absolutely amazing, even for the older generation like myself. I've come and I felt like a child again.
Well, there we go. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think the drone footage that I captured of St. Hill a couple of months ago is better than that. At least you can see the property because it's not dark. But regardless, that's just my personal opinion. Don't you feel enlightened? Don't you feel like you've learned something from that, you know, Scientology clearly is a fantastic organization that everybody should go and join now. I'm going to be honest, that was a lie. That's not what I took away from that video. What I took away from that video is basically 3 or 4 minutes of people just saying how great this event was. Yay. Yeah, fantastic video. What a waste of time in my life. PTS for life. What's with the Disney mascot? Great question. There's a lot of things that I asked that question. What's with the ... you know, happening in that video? What's with the mayor being there? What's with all of these children running around when there are many stories of children being treated not nicely at St. Hill? I've got to be careful with how I say these things on YouTube. If you want to know more, look at the St. Hill Stories video I did the other week. Mrs. J, I feel sick. Yes, me too. That is how I felt when I watched that video as well. Thank you so much for the super chats. Mark, the Dorset SP. Is that Janet in the elf costume? How funny. It could be, you know, it could be Janet Laveau. Talking of Janet Laveau, hi, Janet, if you're watching this. Hi, Janet. Jeff's here in the chat, and I know he's watching this and he's probably going, it's me, Jeff, from Canada. For any of those of you who watched the live stream of my protest, that was a reference to something that was going on there. But Janet Laveau is the current managing director of the Church of Scientology here in the UK. And there's a lot of stuff going on with her and back and forth and articles going out and so on. I have an update about her and some emails that she sent to the council that were revealed in this FOI request that came out today. So I can't wait to share that with you. I'm going to hold it for now. But stay tuned. PTS Alive, Jeff, you know me too well. Hi, Janet. Also, hello, Samuel, the SP chef. Hey, Mr. Gingerstad. PTS. Oh, for a minute, I thought that was to me. And then I realized it's for Jeff. And now I'm just offended and upset because I read that thinking it was a compliment to me. That's embarrassing. Anyone joking? For those of you who don't know the SP chef, Sam Sudi is an awesome guy. I interviewed him the other day, and I'm going through the editing right now, and that will be up in the next couple of days. He's a former SEAL member and Scientologist that's just started a channel. Okay, moving swiftly on. The next video. So I'm probably going to clip this into a shorter video as well. So please bear with me if I repeat myself a little bit here. Scientology have been working very closely to in their efforts to infiltrate and gain control over East Grinstead Town Council, where which is the local authority in the area of their UK headquarters, St. Hill Manor. They established there in 1959, and ever since they've been trying to safe point key opinion leaders and local officials so that they look the other way when Scientology has to deal with accusations and wants to try and get things done that happen in their favor. So this whole time, Scientology have been working to try and infiltrate local government, and this video is a compilation of snippets from Scientology published video content, videos that include speeches and comments from East Grinstead councillors and mayors and officials. And I stuck it all together to show you just how many people on the council are in Scientology's pocket and have been for years. This is not something new. It is not just the mayor. This is a number
officiated by East Grinstead's local mayor.
Firstly, right, this video here, the narrator says that he's talking here about the Christmas light switch on, and he says it's traditionally officiated by the mayor of East Grinstead. That means Scientology have an expectation that the mayor will show up to turn the Christmas lights on every year. It's not just a one-off thing that they do occasionally. No, it's a tradition according to Scientology. Therefore, it happens every year. So the relationship must be quite deep, and the council must clearly support Scientology. Otherwise, they wouldn't do this every year.
traditionally officiated by East Grinstead's local mayor.
So that's clip 1.
This is all.
Clip 2. This is at St. Hill. This is an event that they're holding, and you will see in a second David Miscavige meeting one of the former
Also
mayors.
a chance to give back to the local community.
So that there is Rex Whitaker, who I believe is still on the council. He's not mayor anymore, but you can clearly see here David Miscavige taking a photo opportunity with senior officials at the
For
council.
this weekend, come directly to local.
Now, this is another clip. Again, this is from the St. Hill Charity Gala. This is not from this year. This is, I believe, 2021 or 2022. But this is the mayor back then, Rex Whitaker, accepting a check from Scientology on behalf of his charity. You can also see on the right-hand side, third from the right, the lady with blonde hair in the black dress and suit jacket, it looks like. Not the lady with the red dress, the lady all in black. That is Margaret Belsey, who I believe is a councillor or was a councillor. And behind her, you can just about see the corner of his face, is John Belsey, another councillor who I believe is still on the East Grinstead Town Council. On the left there, second from the left, you can see Rex Whitaker as mayor again. So that's 3 council representatives on stage at an event, I believe. No, this wasn't 2021 because there wasn't an event then. This must have been 2019 or 18 or something. I'll double check the dates, but nonetheless, it's nothing new.
Local charities.
East Grinstead.
Now, this is our number 1 offender when it comes to supporting Scientology with regards to local authority figures. This, and I kid you not, is Dick Sweatman. Dick Sweatman is a councillor at the East Grinstead Town Council. He used to be the mayor, and Dick Sweatman loves Scientology. He's not a Scientologist. He's come out and claimed that he doesn't belong to the church and he doesn't practice any Scientology, but he loves going to Scientology events, and he has gone to Scientology events for a very long time and has publicly come out to support the church, and he has been fighting the fight on any public council meeting that happens where the Scientology comes up. He's the one that defends Scientology. PTS for life. That can't be his name. Data Novis, is that his actual name? I can 100% confirm Dick Sweatman loves Scientology. So Scientology has a video here of Dick Sweatman. Let's watch it.
It is extremely grateful to the church. Without your input, I think a lot of our charities wouldn't be here today. The town
This is another clip from another video. Again, Dick Sweatman.
council and Church Scientology St. Hill work very closely together. The amount of people and, just looking around the hard work that's gone in by the guys to set the lighting up and set all the facilities that we have here up. And the people, the kids enjoying themselves. Fantastic. We really appreciate what you do for the community. It's wonderful.
So Dick Sweatman there talking about how closely the council work with St. Hill and Scientology. And this is Dick's wife, Janet Sweatman, who isn't on the council. But again, it shows that it's not just him, it's his family. He is fully supportive of the church. This is Janet Sweatman.
Everyone says the events are excellent. Everything we put on is so professional, top class.
Now, next up, we have Christine Mainstone, who is a former mayor of East Grinstead, again in the same video, preaching about Scientology. I believe she's a councillor. If she's not still a councillor, she was, but she definitely was mayor at some point.
St. Hill is very special for the things that they help with. If we're running anything in East Grinstead, you always find members of the church there helping.
I think one thing to note is these councillors clearly don't understand the purpose of Scientology's support of these public events and so on, right? Scientology do not sorry, I got distracted here by the comments. Scientology do not support local events and local charities because they genuinely care about the community. They don't want to actually help. They don't care about the local homeless population or the elderly or, you know, whatever issue is going on in East Grinstead at the time. They genuinely don't care. There is no policy about helping local causes in Scientology. However, there is a policy of safe pointing, of trying to win over the local population and gain control over local opinion leaders and local decision makers and the local government. They want to assert control over them so that they can further their aims and spread Scientology more. They don't want to help. They just want to get a favorable public image. So when the councillors and the mayors here are talking about how Scientology are at every single event and supporting every single charity, they fail to understand it's not because they care. It's because they want you to feature in a video like this so that Scientology can say, hey, look, we've got the support of the mayor. So it makes them look good so that they get better recognition and status in the local community. People don't understand this, and this is why it's important to share this information. Let's rewind a sec so that we don't miss the start of the next one, which is Judy Mockford, another serial offender who works for the council still. I believe she used to be a mayor, and also, along with Dick Sweatman, loves to support Scientology.
I was overwhelmed with the level of support that we received from St Hill, the difference it made to the running of the theatre.
Grinstead's local.
That there was Liz Osterman here. So they're pointing at the book. Is Liz Osterman. She is the public relations official at St Hill, and there's more information coming about her out in the coming days and this particular project with Chequermead Theatre. So keep your eyes on the channel and Scientologybusiness.com.
To the running of the theatre, we just blown away by that.
So that is the clip that I wanted to show you that really highlights the extent to which safe pointing has occurred and the extent to which Scientology have infiltrated local government. And there is lots coming out in the coming days about this, so keep your eye on my channel. If you want to support my mission to raise public awareness of this issue and help maybe suggest to the council that they stop publicly supporting a money laundering, French convicted of fraud, child trafficking, human trafficking, hard manual labor, punishment, harassment organization that is known as the Church of Scientology. If you want to help tell the council that maybe supporting this group isn't necessarily the best idea, you can sign my petition, which I launched just the other day. If you go to change.org/Scientology, you will see a petition that I started, which has got 742 signatures as of today. And this petition says, stop Scientology abuse and end local government support in East Grinstead. This gives you a little bit of background of everything I just said and some pictures of the mayor with Tom Cruise and some information about what goes on behind closed doors at St Hill. If you haven't already, please sign it. It is directed at Michael Gove, who is a Secretary of State, the one responsible for local government, East Grinstead Town Council, and Mims Davies, who is the local Member of Parliament for Mid Sussex, where St Hill is based. There are a bunch of signatures already on there, so thank you for those of you who are already supported. But if you haven't already, change.org/Scientology is the link. Head there, stick your name in, show some support, share it on social media, and hopefully we can use that as a tool to show the council that it's not just me yapping and trying to cause some sort of scene. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of people out there that support this cause and also agree East Grinstead Town Council should not be so openly supportive of Scientology, and it doesn't look good for them locally, and it doesn't paint them the best picture worldwide, internationally either. So please sign this petition wherever you're at in the world to show your support. Now, wrapping up this video because I've been harping on for 45 minutes now. Thank you, Data Law, for gifting 5 memberships. That is really kind of you. And Emma Robson, thank you so much again for the £50. That's so kind of you. If you guys want to support the channel, please buy me a coffee, link in the description, or send me money through PayPal. Or if you want to support in a non-financial way, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that sort of stuff. But before we go, one final update from me. 2 final updates from me. Tomorrow, something very exciting is happening. I am dropping a video on my channel. It is currently available to the officially PTS tier members who are part of the membership here on YouTube because they get early access. Everyone else gets this video tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, 12 noon UK time, and it is something I'm working on or have been working on in association with Tony Ortega, and thanks to the source Chris Shelton, I am happy to announce that tomorrow we will be dropping the full audio of the New Year's Eve event that occurred at the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles just last weekend that David Miscavige held. The full event will be available to listen tomorrow on my channel and to read on Tony Ortega's Substack if you would rather read than listen. The full thing will be there, and what's important about this is it will be available here on SBTV before the Church of Scientology hold their public events at their local orgs, meaning Scientologists will get this information after you, unless they're looking for it on YouTube and come across it. Huge information coming out of that, so please check back tomorrow at noon UK time for that. And one final update. Thank you everybody in the chat. Cool, that's awesome. KWAS, yeah. Awaken H, yes, cool, thank you. Danielle, I saw Lara calling out to her father. Yeah, that was heartbreaking. I was, for those of you who don't know what this is, Lara FM attended a protest in Los Angeles outside this event at the Shrine Auditorium the other day, and she saw her dad for the first time in 5 years, who's still in the SEAL organization, and shouted, "Dad, I love you," and it was hard to watch, heart-wrenching. That's what Scientology does. It tears family apart, it destroys lives. You know, in what world does a father walk down the sidewalk and see his daughter there shouting, "Dad, I love you," and the father not interact, engage, say anything back, and instead just keeps his head down and carries on walking? Like, that's the effect of Scientology. That's what is currently going on right now, and that's weird. Like, that shouldn't be the norm in Scientology. It's disgusting, and it happens in every city, at every level of Scientology, in every country in which it operates, and that's why it's important to keep up the fight. So guys, thank you for joining. My final piece of information tonight is exciting. I've been sitting on this for a while. Many of you know that I am working on writing a book. This book has been in the works for quite some time. I started writing it a few months ago about my story and my journey in Scientology, and my thought process and, you know, what was going on in my head. Basically answering the question, how could a teenager possibly join Scientology, and what happened along the way, and here in the UK, because there hasn't been that many UK former Scientologists speaking out, especially staff members. So I started working on this book. And a few weeks ago, I finally signed a deal with a publisher. So Silvertail Books will be publishing my book next year. It is the same publisher that John Sweeney, Mike Rinder, Leah Remini, they've all used for their books here in the UK. Silvertail Books is a great organization, great publisher that are willing to take on the fight against Scientology. And they have agreed to publish my book, which is amazing news and really exciting. And that just means I now have to actually get on and finish writing it. I cannot at this stage give you the title. There is a working title, and we're working on the cover and all of this sort of stuff. It's really exciting, but I can't tell you that for now. I just have to say I have a publisher. I'm going to be a published author, which is huge and not something I ever expected to be or set out to do, or, it just happened. And I can't wait to share more about that. So that's the big news from me. SP Chef Sam, the Ginger Wonder Alex, thank you so much for your Swiss 5 francs. I appreciate that. PTS Live title is Clout Monster. Well, all I care about is clout. Let's be honest. That's the only reason I'm doing this, is because I just want to be famous. Not the case. A lot of what I've been doing is behind the scenes, and although I've taken some time off this last week from YouTube, I've actually been still working pretty hard on this whole project that is Scientology. And so I do a lot of work behind the scenes because I, most importantly, want to help people escape and leave. I want to help people recover, and I want to help people understand the reality of what's going on in the Church of Scientology, right under everybody's nose. So that's the mission I'm on. Thank you, everybody, for your words of encouragement. Danielle, thank you. Batgoat, Go Power Thing should be the title. I love it. Free Xenu Project, Hans Christian Schwartz. Thank you so much, guys. Look, if you want to support my channel, please buy me a coffee, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate you all being here. I will be back likely tomorrow, later in the week. Follow me on Twitter for more instant updates. Once this live stream's over, leave a comment down below underneath the video. Let me know what you thought. Give me some ideas, what you want to hear about, what you want to hear from me and see from me over the next few weeks and into 2024. If I don't see you guys again before Christmas, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for supporting my channel, for being here. And my final message is, Scientology, I am on war footing and I am not fucking about.